Well, our newspaper reviewer, Chukwudi Okoli Ubaja, is here. Chooks.
Hello, Demola, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. And
Good
you?
morning.
Thank God it's Friday.
Oh, TGF. That's how it should be.
TGIF.
No, the H is not too important. Good morning, man.
Good morning, sir. Good to see you.
Same here. How have you been?
Very well.
You look swell. All the time you do.
Thank you.
Stop
All right.
there.
Let's look at the papers quickly now, just so we can have time to review them in details. We'll begin with the Blueprint newspaper. The Blueprint leads with NGX historic 100 trillion naira mark, birth of a new economic reality. That's according to Tinubu. The Riders hails $45 billion foreign reserves in 2025, targets $50 billion 2026. Reforms, tax regime, stabilizing economy. All of that on page 10. Above that, above the masthead, actually, we have 6 suspected Lassa fever patients escape from Nasarawa Isolation Center. 4 die. That's on page 15. Below the masthead, CGC Adeni task CIU officers on intelligence-driven operations, and Tinubu saluting RS Chair Zach Adedeji at 48 is also right here. Looking at a picture story just above it in a green strip, how federal government ended decades of risky river air travel to Bonny Island. That's according to Wike. And the APC kicks as Rivers Assembly begins fresh impeachment process against Fubara. All right, so much happening in River State. You want to find out all the details and some other headlines on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. We have NOA to media intensify accurate information to counter misinformation. And federal government posts 12 trillion naira trade surplus in first quarter of 2025. All right, finally, Anambra, that's the kicker. Police arrest woman, rescue 33 underage trafficked for prostitution. That's on page 14. So let's quickly look at the Daily Times now. Daily Times, of course, leads with the drama in Rivers State. It says Rivers Assembly begins impeachment process against Fubara as APC shuns move. Party leaders, stakeholders asked Tinubu to remove Wike as minister. All right, above the masthead, former APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu dumps party for ADC. I'm sure you want to hear that again. Former APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu dumps party for ADC. Interesting times ahead as far as politics is concerned in Nigeria. And one more headline at the bottom of the front page of the Daily Times this morning in a red strip. NCC CBN move to end failed airtime, data charges, records, 10 billion naira refund. All right, so that's about it on the front page of the Daily Times this morning. All right, Demola.
Okay, I have the Daily Assets newspaper with me, and just above the nameplate, Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission and the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to boost sector efficiency, attract investment. Details of that story can be found on page 2. Fubara faces impeachment as Rivers' political crisis escalates. Lawmakers cite gross misconduct, budget refusal. Speaker warns of threat to democracy. Details of that headline story can be found on page 2. Tinubu jubilant as NGX market capitalization surpasses 100 trillion. Details on page 2. Kogi Poly matriculates 4,591 students, warns against exam fraud cultism. Details on page 5. We have unknown gunmen kill security guard, abduct mother, children in Abuja. Details on page 4. Why money can't save my sick mother, Jarvis. Details on page 15. Armed Forces Remembrance Day now. Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day. That's from the Defense Headquarters. Details of that story can be found on page 17. Influential China Church report arrest as crackdown on Christians intensifies. Details on page 26. CAF holds WAFCOM 2026 final draw in Morocco, January 15. Details on page 31. Chooks.
Yes, the story is that Tinubu is virtually jubilant over the 1.1 trillion naira raised in the Treasury bills auction. Now, what they are saying is that government, through the central bank, issues, sells short-term debt securities, which investors take at a discount, but on maturity, they get the full value. You use it to fund government operations. Projects. At the end of the day, what it means is that the economy is in a good place. If you didn't have confidence in the economy, you would not do that. So that is the reason.
That a lot of investors are also coming in now.
Exactly. So the jubilation by the president is not out of place. What you expect or ask for is that they do things to sustain the condition we find the economy in now, and actually improve on it for the sake of Nigerian people. So that's a good one. Then we also mentioned the trade surplus in the first quarter of is it 2025?
Yes.
12
trillion naira.
Yeah. When you talk about balance of payments, my economics is not very good, but it's secondary school economics, so it's not too terrible. When you talk about balance of payments and you're forever in deficit, Nigeria was in deficit for a very long time. So these days when you hear about trade surplus, it should make you happy. It means the economy is growing. That's it. It's a very good thing.
It is.
It is a very good thing. Mm-hmm. So what are Rivers people up to this time around?
That is the problem now.
All the papers papers were fubarat. It's all fubara, impeachment, amawule. Let me say this. It is not just the National Secretary that warned some people in River State that it is the structure the National Secretariat recognizes that operates. There's no such thing as going to your state and having a different structure. And the national chairman again, just 2 days ago,
yesterday,
said the same thing. What it tells you is that the camp that is not Fubara's camp is beginning to feel that things may not be, the language, the body language is not favoring them from the headquarters. So they are waving whatever they can as a tool for saying we are still very, very much on ground. But I'm thinking impeachment is the final tool you have against the governor, really. Why rush to it so early? Why don't you...
You have to look at the various impeachment allegations against the governor as well. That the man has not
delayed the budget,
delaying the budget, not acceding to the lawmakers, and just taking unilateral decisions and all that. So
has every other state in Nigeria presented this budget? I'm just asking.
Yeah, some states have.
Some states. She said some states have.
No, they're talking about 2024 budget now, 2025 budgets. They cited those ones as well. And so the state has been in limbo since.
I thought they would leave the budgets that were in crisis and talk about the one that can be presented now that everybody's in the house.
But what they are saying is that you can't be spending money that is not budgeted.
It's okay. So the states that have not budgeted, because not all of them, they're not spending money. When you want... It was one of our resource persons. He told me, when a man wants to hurt you, he finds a reason to do it.
Yeah, of course.
That reason is, But my caution really is to every one of them, whether you're Fubara, whether you're Wike, whether you're Maule, whether you're APC Rivers, let them sit down and sort out their problems.
True.
That is the way forward for the ordinary Rivers person.
That is the thing.
In saner democracies, okay, sorry, this is our dear country. We have to watch our language. In democracies that work, The people would have jettisoned all these politicians, thrown them out for people who are serious. It is because of how Nigeria works, you know. You think you can just cross into another party without telling your constituents. You don't carry them along, and there's no prospect you'll be recalled. You can only do those things in some of the democracies in Africa.
Yeah, honestly, Chukwudi, you have spoken well. To think that the state just returned from a state of emergency,
yes.
Last year, and I mean, we expect that by now they will get their acts together and find a way to make the average man in Rivers State enjoy the dividends of democracy.
Thank you.
But what we're saying is just, I don't know. But like you said, we hope that they resolve their issues.
They have to. They don't have a choice.
And
they don't have a choice. An organism is a biological fact. It's a biological fact that an organism preserves its own life. Actually, a scientist said that at a point, the HIV, the virus, will stop killing its victims so that it will live itself. You know, well, it sounds a bit funny. But he's making a point. An organism preserves its own life.
Yeah.
Rivers people should preserve their own life, politically.
Yeah. Talking about politics, ADC, what's going on? This new defection, former APC national chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, moves to ADC.
What is fantastic about the defection?
No, I'm just talking about the party ADC. Is it the opposition that we're going to see coming out strong in 2027?
Let me leave. I think ADC would take over from PDP. Please, it's my opinion, in terms of opposition after 2027. That's what I foresee. But to talk about what you just raised, I stopped hearing about Abdullahi in APC for some time now.
Been a long while.
Is he doing it because he feels he's being sidelined and all that? And that takes me to the final proposition or guesswork. When 2027 is over, those who feel they are not being carried along in APC would actually move to ADC, you know,
or PDP, or back to PDP.
Yeah, they're going to move more to ADC by my own computation.
I see PDP coming back to life.
Sacrosanct about what I'm saying. It's just an opinion.
Anyway, I see PDP coming back to life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's another way to look at it.
With the former president, you know, I mean, giving his backing and also trying to bring back the various factions, you know, that kind of a thing. So,
at what point? Well, maybe not towards 2027.
No,
I would think that it's
they're not thinking of 2027.
Okay,
they are not thinking of 2027.
We want them to all be robust there. I keep on saying here, the more the merrier. Plurality drives democracy in terms of choice. So we're not taking sides, but when you look at certain areas of life and you see murky waters, you're not going to expect that you're going to have a great sail. Your ship or boat is not going to do very well in murky waters. Let them sort a few things out.
All right. Talking about sorting things out, what's going on here? 6 suspected Lassa fever patients escape from Nasarawa Isolation Center. I mean, they're supposed to be taken care of in the isolation center, so why are they escaping? Is that something happening?
And Nasarawa is so close to where I live. Okay, let's be serious, please. Why would they find it easy to escape? You know, when I took a patient to hospital the other time, the matron told me that the patient is not allowed to actually leave the ward. If he needs anything, he has to have a relative that helps him get it.
But if they're well taken care of, why would they want to escape?
You are thinking is because they're not well taken care of. You don't know whether some of these people are people who said we don't believe in hospital and all that. You know, when you're talking about African things, expect any possibility. You don't know why they ran away. Because if you take a man to go heal him and he runs away, something is wrong somewhere. Doesn't he want to be healed?
Healed.
Has somebody told them that one pastor or imam will pray for them? And you know, when you're in Africa, expect anything to pop up.
Well, the Super Eagles are playing tomorrow, the quarterfinals, and the federal government has released their,
bonuses.
Their bonuses.
Thank God.
So
good.
We expect a very good performance.
Did Osimhen really leave camp? I read something.
No, he didn't.
Thank God he didn't.
So tomorrow,
tomorrow is going to work. Yeah. But let me suggest to government that they don't have to ask for these things before they will happen. motivation, when it happens early, it helps the human spirit.
Sure.
And achievement begins to become really a solid proposition.
And I think we should end on this note. There's a quote here that is interesting. It says, we should remember that just as a positive outlook on life can promote good health, so can everyday acts of kindness. I think that's a message to everyone.
When you give, don't you feel something inside you? You feel good.
Yeah.
That's the point they're making.
Many thanks, Chukwudi. Thank you for giving us your time again.